Emmerdale viewers have insisted they will never forgive the ITV drama if Cain Dingle suffers any further misfortune following the revelation of the person responsible for hitting him with a car. In recent storylines, Cain was shaken after Moira confided that her murder charges are likely to be dropped, though she still faces accusations of complicity in modern slavery and is scheduled for a hospital MRI. Cain struggled with the burden of keeping his upcoming surgery a secret from her, fearing that revealing it would be too much for her to cope with emotionally. Despite his worries, Cain went along with a plan devised by Liam, who had secretly contacted Moira. Cain arranged a clandestine meeting with Moira in a hospital changing area, orchestrated to allow a private encounter without drawing attention. Later, while speaking to Moira on the phone, he expressed hope that everything would turn out well. However, just as Moira began to respond, a car came speeding down the road and struck Cain, leaving him lying unconscious in the street, while a bewildered Moira listened on the line. The identity of the driver was eventually disclosed, revealing that Jacob Sugden was behind the accident. Jacob had been under intense pressure at work in recent weeks, struggling with his mentor, Dr. Todd, who had been deliberately making his professional life challenging. Tensions escalated when Jacob ignored a "do not resuscitate" instruction, prompting Todd to threaten that Jacob might not qualify as a full doctor if his mistakes continued. Exhausted, frustrated, and emotionally drained, Jacob failed to react in time when Cain unexpectedly stepped into the road. Cain's injuries at the hospital brought additional complications, as medics informed him that his prostate cancer surgery would have to be postponed, raising the risk that the disease could worsen. In a desperate bid to resolve the situation, Cain attempted to negotiate with Jacob, suggesting that if the surgery could somehow be brought forward, he would withhold the fact that he knew Jacob had caused the accident from the authorities. Given Jacob's earlier reprimand from Dr. Todd for breaching protocol, the outcome of his decision remains uncertain. Fans of the long-running soap have taken to social media to voice their frustration and anxiety over Cain's recent ordeals. One viewer commented, "I swear if they kill Cain, I'll never forgive the writers," highlighting how attached audiences are to the character. Another remarked on the repeated dangers facing characters on the show. "How many times do people have to get hit by speeding vehicles in Emmerdale? It's not safe to be a pedestrian there. How much more are they planning to put Cain through?" Over recent weeks, viewers have witnessed Cain facing an intense series of traumatic events. From legal pressures surrounding Moira's complicated circumstances to life-threatening accidents and medical challenges, the character has been at the center of some of the most gripping storylines on the program. Fans are now eagerly waiting to see whether Cain will recover and how Jacob will respond to the precarious situation he created. The latest twist adds another layer of tension to the village of Emmerdale, where personal struggles, professional pressures, and unexpected accidents collide to create drama that keeps audiences on the edge of their seats. As Cain lies in hospital, both his physical health and his future hang in the balance, leaving viewers anxious about the next developments and how the characters will navigate the fallout from such a shocking incident. Emmerdale confirms Robert and Aaron's last-minute bid to rescue Moira. Next week, Moira Dingle makes the life-altering choice to plead guilty, just as Robert Sugden and Aaron Dingle launch a desperate attempt to prove her innocence. Haunted by guilt for his role in Joe Tate's plot to frame Moira, Robert even contemplates turning himself in to spare her family the anguish of her potential imprisonment. Yet, before Robert can do the right thing, a fresh lead emerges that could completely upend the case. The question remains whether they can gather enough evidence and reach the authorities before Moira finalizes her plea. Our source in the village says it's a tense race against time because Moira is adamant about pleading guilty, a Dale's insider reveals. Robert realizes he set the whole situation in motion and knows how desperately Cain and the family need her back. Every second counts as he and Aaron scramble to prevent disaster. Earlier in the week, Robert turns his attention to Bear Wolf, convinced the man holds crucial information that might exonerate Moira. However, Paddy is furious at Robert for confronting his vulnerable father in prison, seeing it as unfair pressure. As leads repeatedly fail to deliver results, Robert admits to Aaron that he intends to surrender himself, unable to watch Moira's children suffer for a crime he helped orchestrate. Aaron, terrified at the thought of losing Robert again, just as they are finally building a life together, pleads for one more night with him. Luckily, the very next day, Robert's instincts about Bear prove correct when he provides a tip about a car number plate that Ray had asked him to conceal. You might not peg Aaron as a crime genius, but he teams up with Cami Hadik to trace the plate to a storage warehouse in Houghton faster than most law enforcement could manage, our insider adds. With countless units to search through, it seems like looking for a needle in a haystack, until Marlon reveals a crucial key from Celia's farm with a number that changes everything. Considering everything Moira and her loved ones have endured in recent months, it's understandable she might feel that fortune has never been on her side. However, the storage facility turns out to be packed with material that could definitively prove Moira's innocence. Her only reason for wanting to plead guilty is that it promises a reduced sentence, allowing her to return to her children sooner. Now, as Cain races to the courthouse carrying this urgent information, the suspense builds. Will he arrive in time to stop Moira from entering her plea, or will all of Robert and Aaron's tireless efforts be for nothing? Emmerdale's Bear shaken as fresh evidence sparks Celia and Ray's posthumous revenge. Bear, who is currently under investigation for Ray's murder, faces a chilling twist as Ray seems poised to wreak havoc from beyond the grave. Paddy Kirk is desperately clinging to the hope that new evidence might emerge before the upcoming trial on May 4th. His wish comes true, but the outcome is far from what he expected. The Dingle family is determined to secure Moira Dingle's release, prompting Robert Sugden, haunted by his role in framing her, to confront Bear and extract any information that could help clear her name. Bear offers a small lead in the form of a car number plate that Ray once instructed him to conceal. Robert enlists Cami to trace it to a storage facility, and with the key Marlon discovered at Celia's property, they gain access. Inside, the storage unit is packed with new material. Yet, instead of aiding Bear, it threatens to further implicate him in the case. During questioning, DS Walsh presents Bear with the first piece of fresh evidence: bank statements showing payments Ray had made into an account registered in Bear's name. Coupled with an offhand remark from Bear about Ray always looking out for him, the detective pieces together a new theory. The investigator suggests that Bear may have been Ray's partner and speculates that he killed Ray to seize control of the entire operation. While April Windsor and Dylan Penders know the truth about Bear's innocence, at this point, it's unclear whether anyone will be able to come to his aid. Emmerdale continues weeknights at 8 p.m. on ITV1 and is also available to stream on ITVX.